This is Anabel. Anabel is 89 years old. Isn't she cute? Anabel's husband John passed away 2 years ago. Anabel has 2 children, Simon and Belinda. Simon moved across town with his wife 10 years ago and was very busy with his 4 children, so he did not see Anabel very often. However, he did speak to her on the phone daily. Belinda lived close to Anabel and saw her regularly. Belinda assisted Anabel quite a lot with her day-to-day living, including taking her shopping or going to appointments. In June 2024, Simon began to hold concerns about Anabel's mental capacity, as he had noticed that in the weeks preceding when he had been speaking with her, she would often forget things she said or seemed confused about what she was saying. This was very unlike Anabel. Simon rang his sister Belinda and explained his concerns about Anabel. Belinda said that she did not experience any of this with Anabel and that Anabel was completely fine. Simon asked Belinda if perhaps it might be a good idea that they did take Anabel to get assessed just in case her mental capacity was starting to decline. Belinda became very agitated and insisted that this was not necessary. Simon grew concerned over Belinda's reaction but did not push the subject further. He was quite perplexed. Over the coming weeks, Simon grew more concerned for Anabel's mental health and was of the opinion that her health was declining faster than what he had hoped. One day, after hanging up from Anabel, Simon felt very troubled about her mental capacity. So he rang Wellman Shacklock lawyers, who had been his parents' lawyers for many years. Simon explained the situation to the team and said he knew that Anabel had made a will and powers of attorney and that they were stored securely by Wellman Shacklock, but wondered if he could have a copy just so that he could make sure that everything was in order in the event that Anabel did lose capacity. He explained also that he held concerns over his sister's attitude towards him. The team at Wellman Shacklock understood Simon's concerns. They explained to him, however, that as Anabel was still alive, they could not provide Simon a copy of Anabel's will. They explained that they could only provide a copy of someone's will to the executor once the will maker had passed away and upon production of a valid death certificate. Simon understood this. He asked if he could at least have a copy of Anabel's power of attorney documents, as he did not believe she has full capacity. The team explained to Simon that unfortunately, the power of attorney documents are legal documents of Anabel and can only be released to the attorney upon authorization from Anabel. They explained that in the event that Anabel does not have capacity or that there is concerns over someone's capacity, they would require a letter from the doctor confirming that the owner of the document does not have the capacity in order to be able to provide these legal documents to the attorney. Simon, although very distressed, understood there was legal requirements for releasing the documents and said he would attend to taking Anabel to the doctor to have her capacity assessed. On the 9th of September 2024, Simon arranged to take Anabel out for the day and made an appointment with Anabel's doctor. Whilst out, Anabel had made comments to Simon that Belinda was moving into Anabel's house and that Belinda was entitled to have the house. Simon grew increasingly concerned as Anabel and her late husband John had always been very open and honest about their intentions that their estate would be given to Simon and Belinda in equal parts. Simon took Anabel to the doctor and explained the situation and explained that if Anabel did not have capacity, he would just need a letter confirming this. Simon waited outside while the doctor saw Anabel. When the doctor had finished, he called Simon in and explained that he was of the opinion that Anabel did not actually have capacity and provided a letter to Simon that he could give to Wellman Shacklock lawyers. When Simon took Anabel home, Belinda arrived with boxes. Simon asked Belinda if everything was okay and explained the comments that Anabel had made to him earlier in the day. Belinda said everything was fine and she was just moving in as Anabel is lonely and she did not want her to be alone. Simon asked Belinda if she was of the opinion that Anabel may be losing capacity. Belinda again became very defensive and claimed Anabel was completely fine and to stop suggesting that Anabel does not have capacity. Simon then showed Belinda the letter of incapacity from Anabel's doctor. Belinda became very angry and told Simon to leave. Simon was extremely confused. The next day, Simon took the letter of incapacity to Wellman Shacklock lawyers and was able to obtain a copy of Anabel's power of attorney documents, which appointed both Simon and Belinda as Anabel's financial power of attorney. Over the next 2 weeks, Simon spoke with Anabel and became increasingly concerned over her capacity. so he decided it would be best to go and sit with Belinda to discuss Anabel's health. He rang Belinda and told her he would visit on the weekend so that they could discuss Anabel. On the 29th of September, Simon went and visited Anabel and Belinda. Simon sat with Belinda and explained the letter of capacity from the doctor meant that Anabel did not have the capacity, and as hard as that is to accept, that they need to look after Anabel and act in her best interests. Simon showed Belinda the power of attorney document, appointing them both as Anabel's financial power of attorney. He explained that they need to start considering whether it is appropriate that Anabel go into an aged care facility and sell Anabel's property to pay for the fees. Belinda said there was no way the house was getting sold, particularly as the house was now in her name. Simon was very confused and asked how and why Anabel's property got transferred into Belinda's name. She told Simon that Anabel had told her that she wanted Belinda to have the house, so she took Anabel to a conveyancer to transfer the house to her. Simon did not believe Anabel wanted the property to be given to Belinda solely, and did not think that Anabel would understand what was happening for the property to be transferred. Simon told Belinda that this was not right, and he did not believe Anabel had the capacity to understand this. Belinda denied this and asked Simon to leave. Simon called Wollerman Shacklock immediately and explained the situation to Trish. Trish told Simon that they could work out who the conveyancer was that undertook the transfer and request information from them as to what inquiries were undertaken to ensure that Anabel had the capacity to authorise the transaction and understand the nature of the transaction and what was happening. Trish was able to identify who the conveyancer was and was able to confirm the transfer date as the 23rd of September 2024. This was 2 weeks after Belinda was shown the letter of incapacity from Anabel's doctor. Trish contacted the conveyancer, who advised her that they required documents were posted to Anabel to sign, as her daughter Belinda advised them that Anabel struggled to come into the office but understood exactly what was taking place. Trish immediately asked the conveyancer for a copy of the letter of capacity for Anabel or information as to what inquiries the conveyancer made of Anabel's capacity, particularly given her age. The conveyancer said that they did not request a letter of capacity, as Belinda told them that Anabel understood the transfer and knew what she was signing. Trish advised the conveyancer that Anabel did not actually have capacity and that Belinda was aware of this. To cut a long story short, Trish advised Simon of what had taken place. He could not believe his sister would do this and that the conveyancer actually allowed the transaction to go through without taking any necessary steps to confirm Anabel's capacity. Simon instructed Trish to assist him in taking the necessary court action to have the transfer of property reversed and to have Belinda removed as power of attorney for Anabel, which Trish was successfully able to do. Simon was so grateful for Trish's knowledge and expertise and thanked her for helping protect Anabel. This case study is a great example of why a letter of incapacity might be requested by us. It is not just so that we can be difficult. Power of attorney documents are extremely powerful documents, giving power to your nominated attorney or attorneys to control your hard-earned assets. In the wrong hands, these documents can be used in ways that are not in your best interests. So if you're looking to make a financial power of attorney or a medical treatment decision maker, be sure to contact us today. It's very easy to go and do it yourself. However, when we do it with you, we don't just prepare the documents for you. We provide legal advice to you so that you can be sure that your documents are made in a way that will protect you. If you'd like assistance, would like to make an appointment, contact us today on 9707 1155 or admin@wslegal.com.au.